The most obsolete idea is go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, get out of debt, and invest for the long term in the stock market. See, why would you save money when they're printing trillions of dollars? Why would you invest in the stock market for the long term when you have HFT, high frequency trading?
So what do you do?
Every month, more money comes in because my cost of money has gone down. So while some
Especially
financial
today.
experts are saying get out of debt, I'm saying learn how to use debt. Debt and taxes make the rich richer. Debt and taxes make the poor and middle class poorer. In every one of us is a poor person. There's still a poor person inside me. There's also a middle class person, and the middle class person wants security. So as an entrepreneur, if Rich Dad folded, I just started another company. I don't need a paycheck. I don't need anybody to take care of me. If my government doesn't like me, I move to another country because they need entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
So the entrepreneur is not so much the business. The entrepreneur is really the mindset and the skill sets and the different set of rules. You see, I don't operate, small business does not operate in the same rules as big business. Entrepreneurs have one thing in common. They keep going. They don't just take one answer. So a real entrepreneur, it really makes no difference which country you're in. Entrepreneur is a mindset first, a skill set, and rules. And depending upon whether you're an employee or a small business, the rules are different. The mindsets are different. The skill sets are different. It's also called the entrepreneurial spirit. We all have an external economy, but we also have an internal economy. And the willpower is to change our internal economy. So for me, I can see the good and I can see the bad. I don't really give a damn because I'm going to be rich anyway. But a poor person with a poor personal economy, all they're going to see is a bad economy because they don't know how to make money in any economy. And a middle class person, they have a middle class economy. What they want is a nice house and a steady paycheck and the job and the car. And so when you take their job away, to them, that's disaster. So if you think the economy is bad, it's because your economy is bad. It's called an internal focus versus an external focus. So the real entrepreneur has an internal focus. That if they fall down, they say, oh, this is good, because I'm going to go up higher. So all the rich guys who are doctors or lawyers, they're getting creamed. They don't know why. Oh yeah, they're making more money, but the take home is less. What we do instead is we create businesses as entrepreneurs. We acquire real estate. I don't invest in the stock market. So the reason is because as entrepreneurs, I have more control over my income, how much I make, and how much I pay in taxes. And because I'm an entrepreneur as well as an investor in real estate, I pay zero tax. So every time I make, let's say, $1 million as an entrepreneur, I immediately invested in real estate and have a 4-to-1 step up. So I put $1 million in real estate, I get $4 million from the bank. That's why I love banks. But the banks are screwing everybody else, terrible. But what they teach you in school is not appropriate for the real world. So when you come out of school, you're already obsolete. When you go to the supermarket, you buy a carton of milk, the first thing you check for is the expiration date. If the expiration date, let's say it's March 1st and it's already July, you better not drink that milk.
Sure.
The same thing happens inside our brains is when we have obsolete ideas, we get obsolete results. So what's happening for most people, the idea of going to school, getting a job, working hard, saving money, getting out of debt, buying your house because it's an asset, investing for the long term, is obsolete. The world has changed. Our wealth is being stolen via the money we work for. So when you save money, why would you save money? Because back in 1970, just before Nixon took us off the gold standard, I could go to a bank, I got 15 to 18% interest plus a toaster. You know what I mean? Today, the banks are charging you interest to save money. In other words, banks don't want your money because they printed too much of it. And yet people, well, I want a high-paying job. Well, that's an obsolete idea. Get out of debt is an obsolete idea. You should learn how to get into debt, how to use debt to get rich, and they'll never teach you about taxes. The reason the 1% is way up here and the 99% are going this way is because when you print money, two things happen: inflation and taxes. if you're not spending like $200 million, you can't get elected. So what happens nowadays, what do you call them?
Super PACs?
Super PACs and all this stuff,
Sure.
they buy the vote. If you think your vote counts, wake up. Really, wake up. The people controlling the economy today, I'm not saying it's wrong, are the major corporations and the unions. So the unions, they want to get their people elected, and unions control the school system. And the big corporations are kind of more on the capitalist side, and all they care about is their corporations. I always laugh at people, oh, I'm so proud of Apple. It's an American company. It's a BS. Apple is not an American company. Apple's an international company. Its headquarters are in Cupertino, California, but its factories are in China, Korea, the Philippines, and they keep their money offshore. That's really the real world of entrepreneurship today. And any entrepreneur thinks, I'm just going to make money, and I'm going to start a business and make a lot of money, because what we talk about, they really have got to smell the roses, man. That's not what the real entrepreneurs are doing. Okay, so that's why I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm glad people are becoming entrepreneurs, but most of them are still trying to make money. Why would you just make money when you're being ripped off via the money system? And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I like it. I love the big banks. You know why? Because they give me the people who save money. So when you save money, the banks give it to me. Thank God. When you buy insurance, they get it, they give it to me. And that's the game. And who gets the tax breaks? Me. You look at my buddy, not my buddy, I'd like to be his buddy, is Elon Musk. He doesn't pay tax. He gets what, $50 billion?
Elon Musk doesn't pay taxes.
No, but he gets tax breaks.
Sure.
So I get tax
the
breaks.
incentives.
Yeah,
right.
And subsidies. So then the LA Times just went, oh, Elon Musk is ripping us off and all that. Well, Elon Musk is doing what all entrepreneurs should be doing, which is providing jobs and bringing in investment. That's what they do. So when Elon, state of New York, I don't know how many millions they put into a factory to build his batteries. Well, they gave it to him for $1 a year. Why? Because when Elon moves his business into this factory, and I think is where Kodak is, anywhere, the Rochester, I think that's where it is. He'll move jobs in there. Nevada just gave him $1.3 billion in tax subsidies and supplements because he's going to move jobs in there. And that's what real entrepreneurs do. Most entrepreneurs, there's 28 million small business owners in America. 24 million are one-person entrepreneurs. They're called non-employee entrepreneurs. And that's what happens is when people don't really understand what an entrepreneur does. So most people are self-employed, but they're not really entrepreneurs. The self-employed pay the highest taxes of all, and nobody tells them that. My last paycheck, I still remember it clearly. It was one of the worst and the best days of my life. And I was in Puerto Rico. I was working for Xerox, and my boss gave me my last, it wasn't a paycheck, it was a bonus check. I think it was about $30,000 taxable. That's the only problem with that. So I got this check and I went, holy man. You know what I mean? So I was excited, but I was also disturbed. And so this other guy comes up to me, his name was John, and John says to me, he says, you're going to be back. I said, why? He says, because you're going to fail. I looked at him and said, look, few expletive words, because that's what he did. He left Xerox, failed, and he came back. And I said, look, you failed and you came back, but I'm going to fail and I'm never coming back. And that's the attitude. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If you say, well, if I fail, I'll go back to mommy and daddy, then that's what you'll do. So if you fail, that's when I became an entrepreneur, because I had no money. I had no money for years. I didn't have a paycheck. But that's what my rich dad encouraged me to do. He says, when you don't have this paycheck, you get hungrier, smarter, and it's a test of your character. Will you become a crook? Will you become dishonest? Will you cheat and steal? Or will you become a better human being? So really, that's the benefit of becoming an entrepreneur, is you really find out who you are when you don't have anything. If you're an entrepreneur and you're going to be a big entrepreneur, leadership skills and communication skills are more important than a law degree. You have probably the number one skill to be an entrepreneur, which is leadership, the ability to listen, to not take it personally, and he'll still get the job done. Now that's why my rich dad never gave me a paycheck. He says the moment you take that paycheck, you're an employee. You've got to be stronger than that. It's about inside control.